Today we're going to start off with a maintenance wash. The car's been really dirty. I've been driving it a lot outside in the snow and slush and all the BS they put on the roads. So I'm going to go ahead and... Man, Rambo, you got the sneezes. What's up, dude? Dang. So Rambo's going to join us. He'll probably be all antsy. Once I start spraying the hose and stuff, he'll get all antsy on us and move around and probably whine a bunch and all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up my wash bucket. I'm using about 3 ounces, maybe 2.5 ounces of Chemical Guys Blacklight for my wash. If you haven't seen in some of my other videos, I run the hose out of the garage, or out of the garage door and back over to the spigot on the house. Since I live way out in the country, I have well water, so I've plumbed it in so that I can get softened water here in the hose, so that my water isn't iron deposited and got all kinds of crap in it. It's also heated, so it's kind of very nice to have on your hands, especially in the cold, washing with warm water. Now, I made it a touch on the hot side, but I think I'll be alright. So I figured I would just do a maintenance wash, talk a little bit during the video. I don't know what I'm going to talk about today, just kind of winging it, recording the progress. Now I'm going to fill up my wheel bucket with 2 ounces of Diabolo wheel cleaner. Give it 2 long squirts. And then we're going to wash off the wheels. What do you think, Rambo? I know. You're as excited as I am. Oh goodness. So I just got back to the house from drill, and really wasn't happy that I drove the car today without washing it last night, but I was out doing stuff late and didn't get around to it, so tonight is the night. Man, this Diablo wheel cleaner really smells good. Smells like bubble gum, just like you're chewing it. So it's kind of awesome. So I'll try to spray off as much crap as I can with the hose. It's always better to spray what you can off. I'm going to go in with Jax Wax Ultimate Wheel Cleaner and get in here. Man, this stuff is awesome. I use the crap out of this stuff. I can't complain. It's pretty awesome. Sometimes when I'm feeling froggy, I'll spray it on the wheel wells. There's no method to my madness. I just think it's a great cleaner, so I use it a lot. We'll let that sit for a minute. I don't usually go on to the next wheel because the cleaner could dry on the wheel and then it's a pain in the butt to get off. So I just kind of let it sit on there for a little while. Give me time to regroup, get my wheel bucket together, get it positioned where I want to work. Let it sit. I'll use my big wheel Woolly. I've done a couple videos about wheel Woolies and all those things. Go ahead and clean my wheel wells out really nice, because that's where most of your salt's getting, is all caked on all the plastics and bleaching out the plastics and looking like crap up in behind the fender here on the edge. Oh yeah, it's just like caked up. I know that's not ice because it's 50 degrees outside. So that's all just caked up salt up there in the wheel well. So I get all that crap out as much as I can. Sometimes I'll get anal with it, sometimes I won't. But so drill was quite interesting today. I wouldn't say interesting, it was kind of one of those pain in the butt ones that we have to do our mandatory annual training just like any other institution, where you have to get all of the mandatory classes out of the way, like sexual assault, prevention, and equal opportunity. I really like drill because it gives me an opportunity to get in front of the soldiers. I like to build a lot of camaraderie with everybody. I'm obviously a people person, or else I wouldn't be a career counselor. Just love helping people out, teaching people everything I can. It's kind of been ingrained in me since A1, day one in the Marine Corps that, you know, you help everybody out, you teach where you can, you lead and mentor at every turn. So it was funny that I was trying to figure out something to do. So I was talking to a couple soldiers today about this, and they're like, "Why did you start a YouTube channel?" And you know, it's like, well, I don't really have a concrete answer for why I wanted to. I've always thought it was a fun thing to do, but never just really got out and got after it. It was just one of those things where I was like, you know, it's like, it's a booming industry, and it's like, everybody's got a YouTube channel these days, and it just like kind of discouraged me. Like, but why was I getting discouraged? I don't know. I felt like, you know, you're posting the same content as other people, and then you get to think about it, and it's like, no content is the same because everybody has a different personality, and it's literally, you know, just exactly what you're doing. And heck, if you're talking and you have conversation during the video, then you really bring like a whole nother thing to the table. And so I thought, heck, why not? Honestly, one of the things that got me thinking a lot was a video that Matt Mormon from Obsessed Garage put out, and he was talking about the way he separated his work life from his home life. And like he thought, you know, he initially thought that both of them, both home life and work life have to be completely separate. And like that video really spoke to me. I think it was becoming a financial advisor, I think was his video. And his videos are really long and crazy, and I really love watching his content. I'm that same kind of guy, so I enjoy the same things he enjoys. And he was like totally right. He was speaking to me during that video about having, you think that you have to separate both things because, well, you have your day job, and then, you know, you can't spill over your hobbies into your day job because, I don't know, because you think that you need to separate the two. And I'm like, well, why don't I, you know, I am who I am, so why am I going to, you know, why am I going to change myself or limit myself just because I have a day job? It's like the things that I love and the things that I love doing, washing cars, working on stuff, doing preventative maintenance, and just about anything self-sustaining, I love doing every day. So, you know, why the heck can't I put that into something and share it with everybody? Because, you know, everybody asks like, oh, what are you interested in? And like, I have so many hobbies I can't even answer that question. I'm like, okay, I'm into guns, I'm into cars, I'm into trucks, I'm into mechanics, I'm into woodworking, I'm into remote control stuff, I'm into machining and machine work, and I'm into airplanes and aviation and electronics and audio and video. I'm an audiophile. I like to do home improvement, construction. I like to consult. I like to do tile work. I like to do literally anything that you can imagine that could improve what you own or what you have, and like that's what I love doing. But you know, that's the $20 answer to the $2 question of, you know, what do you like to do at home, you know? And like, it's funny because every leader always asks that when they meet you, and they're like, so what do you like to do at home? And it's like, well, everything. I like to do all kinds of stuff. I like to, you know, get on the computer and internet surf. I like to watch YouTube. I like to just overall try to be a jack of all trades. I like gunsmithing. I like all that stuff. So, going back to what Matt said in his video, in his Obsessed Garage video, it's like, why separate the two when you can do, you're one person, you can put the same passion into both things. And like, I'm really passionate about recruiting and career counseling. Like, I'm really passionate about it, and I love doing it. I love training new soldiers, and I like having fun. It's all about having fun for the most part. And I also like doing this stuff, so why not share my entire life instead of, you know, limiting what I'm doing because I'm worried about what people will think. And like, yeah, one of the main reasons I was scared of going out on YouTube is like, the haters are gonna hate. It's gonna happen. And it's just like, yeah, I was in my own way. And like, I did, like, there's a stigma that like people start a YouTube channel because they want to get rich, and which is kind of crazy, because if you knew anything about, through research, and knew anything about the amount that YouTube pays, it's not a career. Yeah, you can go full time with it, but then you end up doing really dumb videos about just the goofiest stuff, and you have everything on your page is clickbait. And like, I see a lot of guys do it, and I was just like, well, I'm not going to do that. So it's like, so what direction am I really going to go with my channel? I'm sure I'll eventually figure it out, but my main goal was to come together and showcase all of the things that I do, and just like, maybe when I redo this garage, my soldiers were asking about it today. They're like, did you redo your garage? I'm like, no, trust me. I'll put it in a YouTube video, and I'm going to show everybody. I think I really want to do a white floor. You know, and I just want to showcase all of the things that I'm skilled at, and just show everybody, like, as I like working on things, or maybe it's improving out here, or redoing this garage and making it a little bit more personal. Because for the most part, this garage is kind of like how I got it. Yeah, it was a bare shell, and I put in a bench and a TV and my shelves and stuff like that. But like, I didn't change the OSB walls. I didn't paint. I didn't do any of that. So I moved around the fluorescent lighting in here a little bit. Obviously added my own fluorescent lighting on the wall so that I could get a little bit better lighting for detailing and stuff like that. But for the most part, didn't turn it into the real dream garage that I want. Now, is this really my end-all dream garage where I want to do everything? No. This is just strictly my 2-car garage up at the house, and it's literally just to store cars in. Do this kind of stuff in the winter, so because all of my detailing stuff is up here, I have access to water and things like that. Down at my shop, I just have electricity. I don't have running water, so this really isn't an option. If I had running water down there, by all means, I would have a detail bay down there. I would have probably already cut a drain in the floor, and I would have been detailing my cars down there because it's so much bigger area. I have the big screen, I have the surround sound down there in the shop, which I'm sure I'll do another video on a tour of my shop and everything like that, which I'm sure people would want to see. So this is kind of just a, I don't know, maybe a showcase garage or something like that. I've been to the Esoterics. I've been to their Esoteric detail is in Columbus, Ohio, and they have a very nice setup. They have everything away in storage, and everything gets put away in the cabinets. They have a white floor, white walls, really bright light. I mean, they're a professional detailer, so that's all they do is detail cars. I love their logos on the floor. It's like, man, I want to do that. I want to do exactly that. Like, not to be a copycat or anything, but like a white floor in here with some decals for pictures and stuff like that would be really sweet. When I could get rid of all this crap in the background and use this as a white backdrop or something like that, or have the cabinet set up on that side, have my big screen up on the wall where it is, but have cabinets in there and be minimalistic, have all my junk inside a cabinet, and then I could take pictures that way and it would look sweet. It would just be an awesome garage. This garage is pretty big. Like, I can pull the car in here sideways and do whatever I want with it. It's pretty big. I'd say it's like, I think this is 20 by 25 or something like that. It might be even bigger than that. It might be 25 by 25, but and it's fully insulated, so I heat it easily with just a electric heater. I'll probably edit this next part out because I'm going to be back here cleaning this tire back here. Alright, so I cut the video off so I could wash that other wheel over there. I wasn't talking to the side of the car and you couldn't hear me, but now we're going to wash the paintwork. I think this would look really sweet in here with a white floor. I think I'm going to keep the lighting on the side of the wall. It really lights up one side. I don't have the opportunity to do it all the way around. It just doesn't make sense, but this one wall is sweet because you can pull a car in one way, look at it, pull it in the other way, look at the other side. But I think a white floor in here, white walls, just completely white. Do decals on the floor would look sweet. I know a place in town that would do the decals and they look awesome. Just vinyl decals. Probably have to put it in a place where there's not a lot of traffic, or put a mat over it and then take it off or whatever. But oh, goodness. So, I don't know what that noise was. Like there's somebody outside or something. I'm gonna go check that out. Alright, turned out to be nobody out there. So, I'm sure Rambo would have gone nuts if there was actually a car door or something. So let's get to washing the car. I originally thought, you know, hey, this video is going to be 20 minutes. And then I was 20 minutes in when I was washing the wheels, so it's whatever. I'm going to do it to it. I know in a previous video, like how I wash my car, I said I didn't start with the very top. I'm going to do it a little different today since there's tons of ice and stuff all over it, or salt and stuff all over it. So I'm using a microfiber mitt from Meguiar's. I don't use it as a mitt. I know a lot of people hate mitts. I just turn it inside out, but I like the microfiber of it. So obviously my rinse and my wash bucket. So I'm gonna wash the top first. I had driven through some rain, so I'm gonna just wipe all this glass off. It's literally all glass, so it is what it is. So one thing I was thinking about when I was washing the wheels, and kind of think about it every single time I wash the car, is like, I kind of hate how Mercedes does the, better watch out for the hose that get taken out. I don't like how Mercedes does the carpet fender wells in the back. So the back wheel wells are carpet. And like, I mean, obviously they're a durable carpet, but it's carpet nonetheless. So it really holds on to a lot of dirt. You kind of really have to scrub it out. And it kind of stinks. I just don't really like the design. Now, I'm sure some brainiac or engineer from Mercedes is like, well, there's a reason why we do this, and this is the reason. But I haven't been told the reason, and I really haven't researched it. Like, hey, why do you guys do this? It's one of those things I just cry about and say, yeah, I wish it would just be plastic, and you know, I wouldn't have to scrub all the crap out of the wheel well. I don't know. Who knows? So, like I think I demonstrated in my other video, I try to wring out my mitt a little bit, especially if I see anything get picked up on the microfiber. I will wring it out even more than I usually would because I want to get all that crap off my mitt while I'm washing. So I have these nice body lines that kind of break it up for me when I'm washing. So I kind of just go down to the midline. Of course, I like using light colored microfiber stuff so I can see dirt on it, so that I can gauge whether or not it's really getting dirty. Once I get down around the lower part of the car, it'll really start to darken up, and I'm like, okay, well, you don't want to bring that back up towards the top of the paintwork. So I just go down to that lower level there. I'll flip it again when I go to a new panel, and we'll get this bad boy right there to that level, and then I'll wash it out again, and then I'll go to my other side and do that same exact thing. I'll go down to about the same area on the fender. This area gets a lot of dirt, so I might just go back through. There's no method to the madness. It really is all a matter of opinion, and it's based on what you like to do and what you don't like to do. As far as I'm concerned, as long as you're using a nice soap and a nice mitt, yeah, you can get crazy with the mitt that you're using. I know a lot of people have the Incredipad And then Critipad XL. It's like a $50. It's like a $50 wash pad. It's like, at the end of the day, like I get that it's very nice quality and all that, but like, where do you draw the line on just how much you're going to invest in detailing stuff? It's like, if you're just like me and just washing your car, I don't necessarily geek out about it. Yes I do. I can't, made myself laugh. Okay, so I geek out about it a lot. I'm a big nerd when it comes to detailing. But at the end of the day, how much is a $50 pad going to improve over what I'm doing now and washing it out? You can use, I use microfiber towels. I use this microfiber wash mitt. I literally use, I've tried just about everything. And you pretty much get all the same result. One thing I will not use is wool. I don't like the synthetic wool mitts. It's just, I don't know, they just don't feel good in my hand. They don't feel like, they're just like starchy, and I don't even know if I have one anymore. I don't even think I own one. I probably have never even purchased one. I just don't like them at all. I don't like the way they feel. I don't think they clean very well. Some people live and die by the things that, the very first thing that they use, and I definitely try a lot of different things. I've tried. I like these microfiber mitts. They work pretty darn good because they're just like a microfiber, but in a bigger pad. Now, I've tried those big Chanel, however they say it, those big Chanel mitts with the big twisted fiber. I probably got one around here somewhere. The big twisted fiber fingers on it is the best way I can describe it. Those seem to work okay. I don't know if they pick up the dirt as much as they should, but they work all right. So I just went around the car like that down to my lower band around the bottom so I don't hit the side skirts yet. I didn't wash anything past the rear quarter. It's really nice to wash inside. There's no air moving, and the paintwork stays nice and wet. I don't have to worry about soap drying on the surface like you're out in the sun. It's really nice. I don't know if I'm just hearing things because I'm recording or what, but I feel like I hear stuff outside like a lot more. It's crazy. It's like, well, Rambo's not freaking out about it, I guess. Nobody showed up. Maybe Dylan came by, or Augustine. So, here's a funny story. It's like, everybody's gonna freak out when I say what happened, but so what had happened is I almost shot a friend of mine because I thought that it was somebody like coming into the house. So we had planned to work on a buddy's truck. We planned on working on Logan's truck. It was like a Thursday. It was like a Thursday night, and we were planning on working on Logan's truck on Friday night. So Augustine, for some reason, thought that it was that Thursday night that we were working on the truck. So he shows up on Thursday night, and like, if you know a recruiter works long hours. We military recruiters work just stupid hours. Just because our numbers are so high, and it seems like nobody wants to serve anymore. So So anyway, so Augustine comes. It's Thursday night. I'm getting ready for bed. I'm in my underwear. And see, that was bad what I just did just right there. It's like I went around the back of the car, got all the nasty crap in the mitt. Although I washed it out, when I picked it back up, I started at the top and wiped down, and like that's bad practice. So start down where you stopped. But so anyways, get back to the story. I will get sidetracked a million times on the story, and I over-explain it in so many stories. I'm like a book of short stories. So Augustine came over. It was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I was getting ready for bed. And Augustine's one of those guys that doesn't knock on your door. He just comes right in. So he heard the TV on, so he didn't think anything of it. And I live way out in the country. So, and this was at my old house. So we lived way out in the country. We had a small house. So I'm out there getting ready for bed. Rambo's laying at the foot of the bed. And I hear the door. I don't hear anything because I was watching TV. And I hear the screen door come latch shut. And I had the house open because it was one of those cool summer nights, and I just had the door open to, you know, enjoy the fresh air. So I hear the door come latched, and I'm like, okay, usually most of the time, all of my doors are, you know, they're tuned well. They're not like swinging open and coming unlatched, and they're aligned, and they do what they're intended to do. So when they shut, they're shut. Let me get over here real quick. So as you can imagine, getting ready for bed, standing over by the nightstand in your underwear, and you hear the door come shut, the screen door latch. I'm like, well, what the hell is that? So I get up, thinking that maybe it's just some person that didn't know where they were going. I'm getting to the story. I just got to wash off the car real quick. So that was a rough rinse down, but I'll get the rest of it here in a minute. So I'll tell the rest of my story just for the sake of time, and everybody's like, man, will you just get to the point? And so anyways, I'm standing there at the nightstand, and I hear the door come shut. I'm like, what in the heck was that? So I'm like, oh, maybe somebody was drunk, pulled into the driveway, wrong house. They realized it, left the door shut, and they're out in the driveway somewhere. So I go to walk around the edge of the bed, and my house was kind of set up where the bedroom was in the back. The hallway you go out into the hallway, there was a laundry room, and then the back door. So as I come out the door, I could see the back door through the laundry room. So I'm coming around the edge of the bed to investigate my underwear, and I grabbed my gun at that point, and I was coming around the edge of the bed, and I see the shadow coming through the laundry room. Mind you, it's 11 o'clock at night, you weren't expecting anybody, and somebody is now in your house. So I see the shadow, and so I draw my weapon, and I got it up, and I got my finger on the trigger. I remember pulling every bit of slack out of the trigger, getting ready, and I'm tracing him through the wall based on the shadow, or him or her, or whatever, whoever I thought it was. I was like, oh my God, somebody is in my house. So Rambo at this point, like, he is cowered down in the corner because he's a badass, but when it comes to actually being scared of things, he's scared of the wind. So I'm tracing him through the drywall, and I'm getting ready to pull this trigger, let it sing, and there comes Augustine around the corner, smoking on his vape, and he's like, "What's up, man?" And I got the gun in his face. I'm like, "Whoa, you know, like, what are you doing?" And he's, you know, I was shooken up because I was like fully prepared, that warrior mindset to shoot somebody in my house. And it was my damn friend that got the day wrong. I could have shot him all day long, and I probably would have been justified if I would have been any less, you know, calm under pressure. It's insane. I would have shot my buddy because this dude just shows up. And like, what kind of friend doesn't knock on your door when he comes over? That was Augustine. Like, he just did not knock on your door. He's just like, okay, well, you're expecting me, so I'm coming over. And then the dude just didn't knock on the door. Like, all right, man, well, I had that conversation with him, like, dude, you almost got shot. You kind of want to change your ways a little bit. Or at least just don't come over to my house like that, because I'm expecting to hear you at the door. Give her a knock or a doorbell. Jeez, man. And then he wanted to hang out. I'm like, my body was pumping full of adrenaline. I'm still shaking. I'm like, dude, you want to hang out now? Like, no. Like, just go. Like, you need to go away. I need to lay down and relax for a second. He ended up hanging out for another hour. But yeah, that was the time I almost shot my buddy because this dumbass came to the house and didn't ring the doorbell, just walked right in. Crazy. Who does that? It's just, still to this day, I'm like, what in the heck was he thinking? That was just Augie. He's a good dude, though. He's now, he's done with Marine Corps recruiting duty, and he's back at New River, MCAS New River in North Carolina. So, in making just a couple videos since I've started, I've realized how much I need a lapel mic. Just something to clip on my shirt, because I feel like I'm yelling, but I'm just talking normal. And I hope the audio is good in here. I hope it picks it up well. And that I don't have to scrap this whole video because the audio sucks. I hope it's good. So I don't know. It's kind of a pain to upload videos because I have slow internet out in the country. I've got satellite internet, which everybody's like, oh, satellite internet, oh my goodness, like, what are you doing? Like, it's so slow. Well, it's the only thing that's available to me, and it's really not that slow. I can stream YouTube and stuff like that. Now, when I'm uploading these videos in 4K, you know, or actually, I'm just recording high def, so I'm recording 1080p. So I'm not recording in 4K because it's so hard to do it. But it takes, the download speeds are forever. Like, it takes all night. I just leave it on overnight. That's why I'm uploading in the morning every time, is because when my videos come out, they get done loading on the computer overnight. so here's a big controversy. Is drying. Drying, a lot of people say, you know, you should use a drying towel and put it on the surface and drag it across, and that's the most least invasive way to do it and all this stuff. What I do is, I didn't realize that the camera stopped recording on me, so good thing I caught it. I realized it wasn't running anymore. But what I'll do is, I take my microfiber, dry microfiber out of the dryer, and I'll come over and I'll hit all of my windows, all the glass I'll hit with it, and get it nice and wet. Once I get it nice and wet, I'll wring it out, and then it's nice and ready to pick up any you know, any water that I'm about to wipe up. So after I get the glass wiped down, and at least get it close, because ultimately you're going to go back and get it. So I'll go ahead and wring it out. And alright, so I'll wring it out. Now, this is the way I do it. So just based on experience and how I'm doing things, and how I like it, I'll use a yellow. These towels are from Jax Wax. Edgeless microfibers. They're kind of my workhorse towels. At this point, I think I'm just going to wipe down the hood, because I'll go back and, since it's a matte wrap, I just hit it with meticulous matte detailer spray. So I'll just wipe it down right now, and I'll come back and get anything off of it that's dirty. I'll come back later to it. So I'll just wipe that off. Not really worried about it. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So I'll use this Jax Wax towel. They're edgeless microfiber. These towels are pretty cheap, like $1.50 a piece. I don't know the exact GSM on them. They're pretty nice towels. They're Korean towels, so I really like the Korean towels. This is also a Korean towel that they use, edgeless microfiber. It's a lot more plush, double the pile length as the yellow one. Now I'll use this to buff off. So this is how I go about this. So I still have water everywhere on the car. So I'll take my spray detailer. In this instance, I'm using Chemical Guys, the Hybrid V7. Hybrid V7, I will spray on the towel, and I'm going to wipe one panel at a time. I'll get out through here, wipe this panel off. Okay, get close, probably go around a little bit where there's a good stopping point wherever, and then I'll come in through with my blue one and just buff it nice and dry. So that spray detailer leaves a nice film, and then you just come in here and buff it off. And boy, does it look good. Now there are products like Ammo NYC. Larry Casillas makes his own products. He is the reason that I came up with this process. He does his ammo hydrate and dries just like this. Just puts it on, and his theory is hydrating the paint, which I agree with in every way, shape, or form, and having that lubrication while you're drying to prevent that micro marring. But I haven't bought into his products because they're rather expensive. His paint regime is like $125 for like 4 bottles. It's kind of out of my wheelhouse. I mean, I feel like I'll go through that so fast. Maybe I won't, but this bottle, this 16-ounce bottle, will last me, it'll last me a month. Yeah, it'll last me a month just on this car. So if I wash it once a week or twice a week, it'll last me for about 8 washes. 8 to 12 washes is what I estimate that the bottle will last me. So when you put that in a cost perspective, just on spray detailer, just on the spray detail aspect of it, his is $30 for a spray detailer bottle. This is 10, you know, or I don't know exactly what it goes for. So it's 3 times the cost of what I would spend it elsewhere. And I just haven't got down with it yet. I'm sure it's probably going to be one of those things where, like, why didn't I do this sooner? But I just haven't invested that much time and effort into it, especially money. And I wouldn't say time and effort, I'd say money into the whole thing, because, I don't know, I'm scared that I won't like the product or something like that. It's kind of how I go about everything. It's like, is this going to be practical? Is this something that I'm going to use all the time? Maybe I'll love his products and then I'll just throw everything else away and only order from Larry. I don't know. It's all up to you know, personal opinion and experience, and I don't know. I haven't decided to bite on the price. Now, have I added it to my cart a few times? Yeah, I've added it to my cart many times, and I'm like, just go ahead and buy the crap. Like, just stop thinking about it and just buy it and see if you like it. I've just never followed through. So, I don't know if it's the bomb or if it's not. Who knows? So I basically wipe the car down like this. Depends on the flavor of the day. If I'm going to use the leaf blower to blow out the cracks and crevices and stuff like that. Now, how I look at it is, if I'm going to drive the car soon after, if I'm washing in the morning and I'm about to drive the car that afternoon to a car show or something, then I'll blow it out, because there's going to be no time for it to dry in the cracks and crevices. So I'll go ahead and just let it dry in the garage. And it's not gonna kill me to let it sit overnight and let it dry in the garage. This car doesn't hold a lot of water in the door handles or anything like that. Sometimes up under the mirrors, but nothing that's like, oh man, I can't do anything without blowing this thing off. Now these blue towels, as you're going over the car and wiping the wet detailer off and stuff like that, they'll get wet. And as soon as it gets wet and it's leaving a streak after it, I'll go ahead and throw it in the dryer. I'm not going to use it anymore. It's wet enough that I'm not using it again. So I'll do the rear of the car. This hybrid V7 is pretty awesome stuff. I haven't gone all in on the... I don't know how well you can hear me when I'm back here. Maybe it seems like I'm yelling. I don't know. It kind of feels like I'm yelling. I'm just talking a little bit louder than I usually would. A lapel mic would be so good because I could just talk regular and not worry about it. And then I don't know how much ambient noise the microphone picks up. So you never know until you go into edit and you're like, oh man, crap, that's, you know, that doesn't sound very good. So just all depends on how awesome you want your video to be. I'm definitely just doing it for the community aspect more than anything. I need to start asking people, like, what kind of videos should I do? Not what kind of videos, but like, what would you like to see me doing? That is, I guess, what kind of videos. It's funny how hard it is to get out in front of the camera. Like, I get out in front of soldiers all day long. All day long, stand in front of soldiers and teach and be goofy and cut it up. But at the end of the day, like, it's really hard to set the camera over there on the tripod and talk to it. Like, Rambo thinks I'm probably insane right now. He's probably like, Dad, I don't know what you are doing, but you look stupid. You're talking to the wall, Dad. I don't know what you're doing. So you know, it's just kind of weird to talk to the camera in that aspect. Like, I'm sure I'll get used to it. It's gotten a lot more comfortable than my very first video, the trailer for the channel. I was like, I don't know about all this. So now that I've used my microfiber on the door jam, or on the trunk jam where it was dirty, I contaminated it, so I'm not going to use it for the rest of the paintwork. So it's going in the washer. Now I will say that putting the washer and dryer out in the garage was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. It's a little bit of a pain because I don't have water ran out here like in a hard plumbed way. I don't have it coming through the ground yet from the house to here. I have it hooked up to the hose. So what I do is, what I've had is, what am I trying to say? So what's set up is this pipe over here on the wall. This white PVC pipe is my drain pipe, and then there's a hose that runs directly above it. And I don't know if you can see it, but they're two different things, the inlet and outlet, obviously. I just have a garden hose ran over, and then I have a quick disconnect on the end of the garden hose. I take the garden hose outside, and I can hook it up to my hose from the house, and then I take my discharge pipe, which is literally just a sump pump pipe that I put on the end of a PVC, and route them outside, and I run the washer right in here. I have a sink as well. It's just been the best thing that I ever thought of. Was like, I'm getting a new washer and dryer in the house. Why the heck am I going to get rid of my old washer and dryer when I could be washing rags in it? So I decided to do that and went all in with it and plumbed it. And it's kind of been the best thing ever, because now I have the ability to turn up the hot water. So the water coming from the house, I can turn it up since it's on the wood burner. I got my hot water. If I don't regulate it and I don't split it with cold water or anything, I can run it straight hot water from the water heater, and I can get 185 degrees to wash some of the dirty, grimy stuff. Now, of course, you don't want to wash your microfibers at that temperature. You'll melt the things. So, obviously, you're not doing that, but it'll help you with dirty clothes and soiled stuff and just dirty shop towels that we use. Whatever it might be. It's been a lifesaver out here. Alright, I'm going to come over and check time on the camera because the other video cut off early. Hey, look at that. Still got 6 minutes of me yapping. So, that basically gets into an hour-long video. I think that puts us at an hour. And I'm just done with drying. Just goes to show how much effort I put into each wash. This is just a maintenance wash. I'm not doing any kind of paint correction or anything like that. Literally washing the wheels, washing the paintwork, drying it off, and I'll be on my way. I'll sweep out the inside, wipe down a little bit, and that's all game bells on the whole process with the maintenance wash. Now, I'm not sure how many people are going to watch an hour and 20-minute long video. I don't know how well my Jeep video did, where I was just out BSing and working on the Jeep. I don't know how many people are going to sit and watch it. how dry I am. I don't know if I'm dry or not. I don't know if people will listen to me. If I have an audience, it's easy because you crack up and you have fun and you laugh together, and it's like, what am I going to do on the camera, you know, to crack everybody up? So it's really awkward talking to the camera. It just is. There's really no preparing you for it. You're just in it to win it. And that's what I was initially like worried about with YouTube, is like, you know, haters gonna hate, I guess, and people are gonna have their opinions, and you know what? I don't need them. I don't really care. Like, I'm just gonna do it for me. I'm gonna do it to have fun, and like whoever wants to watch and hang out, go ahead on. I know plenty of people that sit around and watch YouTube all day. Logan. So he'll probably watch the whole video and laugh about Augie almost getting shot. Stuff like that. So maybe I'll bring the camera down a low level and we'll work on the wheels. That sounds like a good idea. Alright, I figured I'd bring the camera in close and show you what I do with my wheels. Now, of course, Rambo will try to jack around with me while I'm out here. I use the tire and trim gel from Jax Wax. I really like the product. It's water-based. I think I've had it in some of my other videos. I think it goes on really nice and even. It doesn't fling a lot. It's really easy to use. So I'm all about ease of use, practicality, price, and how well it holds up. Any water-based product that you use isn't really going to hold up for any rain or anything like that. It's pretty much just going to wash off in a rainstorm or driving through water. It's going to wash off. So basically, I just prep the wheel by going over it with a microfiber. And now I washed the wheels and tires earlier, and they've come to dry quite a bit. So they'll be ready to just plop some tire shine on. I see a bead of water going down through there, but so get my wheels ready. These wheels have been protected with the Max coat by Chemical Guys. Seems like a pretty good coating. Everything really comes off well. I don't really have to worry about brake dust. It barely builds up. From what I've noticed, I mean, the driving conditions are completely different, so it's all subjective, because now it's winter. Now I'm driving winter weather and salt's getting in there, but it's really not sticking so much brake dust as I'm used to. It's usually caked up right behind this first lip in the wheel, and then all the way in the back there's a groove that gets caked with brake dust. So I'm seeing a very minimal amount. It's been like a week since I've done this, since my last video. So that was the last time that I cleaned the wheels. So it really hasn't built up that much. So I use this tire and trim gel from Jax Wax. Really good product. As with anything, shake it up. I notice when this stuff gets warm, it flows a lot faster. So you'll have to be careful when it's warm, because it will flow out like crazy. What I do is, since my tires are small, I'll only coat half of this applicator, and so I'll just take the applicator in my hand like this. Try to get away from the camera, but go around here like this and back through, and then the rest of it is just working it in. So I'll work it in the lip around the rim, and then work it in around the tire. So I really like this applicator. I'm pretty sure I got this one at Jax Wax. I got a couple different applicators. I like this one the most because it's concave, and it allows you to get in the tire a little bit better. So go in here and do that. Now I'll come back with my towel from wiping the tire down, and I'll just get rid of all the little excess that's in the little groove of the tire, because ultimately that's the first part that's going to fling off. So I don't necessarily wipe the side of the tire like some people do. They'll wipe the excess. I don't necessarily do that. I'm just wiping up the excess around the tread. And that's literally all I do. Sometimes I'll bring this in here, wipe down my wheel wells a little bit, just try to get them a little bit drier. So then I'll come in with, heck, I might as well show you why it's on camera. Hold on. I come in here with Chemical Guys Bare Bones Dark Shine Undercarriage Protectant. Hey Rambo, what's up, buddy? You're in my camera view, bro. So I'll come in here and just spray it in the wheel wells. It's crazy how it makes everything disappear that's black or bleached out plastic. So what I always usually do is wipe it in, because it will run and it gets everywhere, and I don't really want it on the garage floor. I really just want it up on the wheel wells. So I'll wipe it in and get it into the grooves where otherwise the spray application doesn't get it. So there you go. I just wipe it in and do it like that. So yeah, that's my basic maintenance wash. Really quick, really easy. Well, I wouldn't say really quick, really easy. I mean, I'm a little bit meticulous about it. Don't run it through a damn car wash. But we get a little bit anal with it and clean it and wipe it, and that's a basic maintenance wash. You should take about an hour to hour and a half to wash a car. Do it right, because the paintwork, I mean, you work so hard to get the paintwork nice that you should want to keep it nice. So that's how I do my wheels. I use this stuff on the carpet wheel wells in the back that I don't like, but it doesn't seem to really do anything. The carpet's already black, it stays black. So yeah, we'll cut frame, and I'll fade out, and we'll go to an overview. I'll do the rest of the tires and get everything tightened up, and then I'll wipe the door jambs with a separate microfiber. Maybe I'll include that on the video. Why not? Let's do it. Alright, so when I'm wiping out the door jambs, I use a completely separate microfiber color, so I don't confuse it with my yellow ones. Since I don't like these green towels are from Chemical Guys. They're the Workhorse Towels. I find that these things, they get so nasty, and like they collect so much stuff. Get out of my nuts, man. What are you doing? He's desperate for attention. He's been out here the whole time being a trooper, so he's desperate. So I use these Workhorse Towels because I don't like them for paintwork. They are big, but I don't like them for paintwork. I think they get dirty. They have an edge to them. Not going to happen. So I usually use this, and then I'll get some Body Shine. So I'll use the Body Shine from Jax Wax. I've got an old bottle. I need to update my bottles. But so I just spray it on my towel, and then I'll wipe off everything on the door jamb. So all up in here. I think you can see that on frame. Wipe around my hinges, get the edge of the other door. So I'm using the Hybrid V7 on the paintwork. I'm using Body Shine in the door jambs. To be honest, the Body Shine has never really polished out well on my paintwork, so I don't use it for the actual paintwork. I think it works amazing in the door jambs. So I'm kind of like, well, Well, Matt Mormon, he does the exact same thing, but with a different product. So he has a separate product, and it's like, he does the exact same thing I do. It's like, hey, I have this body shine, and I think it works great for the doors. I'm going to keep using it just for the, just for the door jambs. So one thing that I just thought of is like, it's funny how many people are like, man, you're obsessed with your car, and like, man, you do nothing but post pictures of your car. It's like, yeah, because that's what I'm interested in. Like, you're interested in, whatever you post pictures about. And it's like, it's so funny that people are just like, oh, you love that car so damn much. Well, I bought it. I bought the car. I wanted it. I spec'd it out. Like, yeah, this is exactly like what I want to drive and what I like, and all of the things that were perfect in my mind to get on the car, and how it was set up, and putting the tint on. And like, dude, it's your ride. Like, of course you're in love with it. You better be in love with it. You drive it every day. And then it's funny when people say, oh man, you daily drive that thing? Yeah. Why would I buy a car and not drive it? So even when I have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, like, it's going to get driven every day. Like, I'm going to drive my cars. Now, not every day. I'm not going to drive. When I collect a couple different cars, I'm not going to drive them every day. But let's move the camera back in frame here. Yep. So I don't really realize how big my how wide my wide frame lens is, because I feel like I'm off the camera and you can't see me, and like you can see way behind me. It's kind of funny. So I'll finish wiping out these door jambs, and then I'm gonna wipe down this tire on this side, and then we'll cut out to a little view of the side of the car. We'll look it over real quick. Well, I hope you enjoyed me running my soup cooler for an hour or so. Depends on when I cut down the video. Probably be like an hour and 20 minutes. Like, what I said I was going to do is set the camera up and do what I do. And man, this stuff really relaxes me after a long day at work doing stuff. This stuff really relaxes me. I love to clean up my stuff and make it look nice, and just overall get it looking straight. So we'll so I used a completely different area of the towel to wipe the paintwork, just for a quick wipe underneath the door handle there. I don't know, it was like a smudge. Let's go ahead and work on this wheel. Let me go get my wheel stuff. And we'll work on this wheel real quick. Get my garden hose out here. I really want to figure out how you skip forward in the video to a part where like, other than putting it in a description, like wheels and tires, at 19 minutes and 50 seconds. I want to be able to put the link in my video to take you to that part, instead of, you having to click forward on it and trying to figure out where 19 minutes was. I don't know if you can do that. I feel like you can. I just don't know how to do it yet. I'm going to have to get educated. There are a couple things that you can do on YouTube that are cool. And of course the rest is editing software. So just like before, I'll load up half of my applicator. and spread it over the wheel. Too easy. Spread it over and then get in this groove by the wheel. Push it all the way around. Man, if you haven't looked into Jax Wax, you really need to. If you're just starting out, awesome company to go to. Definitely, if you're like looking into what kind of, what company you should go with, if you're just starting out, like there's probably the only reason I wouldn't recommend chemical guys for people that are just starting out is because they have such a huge product line. And like they're like, how do you have that many products? Like I go online and it's just confusing, like which wax do I get? Okay, you get this wax for red cars, this wax for black cars, this wax for white cars. But what if I have cars of all different colors? I have to buy a wax for each color? Like, so what I'm getting at is they have such a robust product line, and it's so not user friendly. At the end of the day, you just come out confused, like, why do they have so many waxes? Or why do they have, like when I bought the wheel coat, the max coat for the wheels, like there was 2 different kinds that looked the same. They had all the same specs on them. Like, we can't just make one. That's why I love Jax Wax, is because they're not all fancy like that. They have awesome products, but they're not all fancy and like over complicated. They literally have tire and wheel gel. They have body shine. They have ultimate wheel cleaner. They've got super blue, which is super blue is a solvent-based like trim gel. That's their first product I ever bought from Jax Wax was super blue, and I love this stuff. It's solvent-based and it's really nice. But yeah, I would totally recommend Jax Wax all day long because they're cheap, they're awesome products. I use the crap out of them, and they're just so user-friendly because they don't have 1,000 products in each line, like 1,000 different polishes. Like they have 3 polishes with the perfect cut, the perfect finish, and then I don't know what their third is. They have a scratch remover. Then they have a carnauba wax, a liquid carnauba wax, and a cherry wax. It's like, that's all you need. So they don't oversimplify a lot of stuff. So if you're looking into products, starting out, or just want to try something else, just, I've never bought Adam's stuff. I don't know. I think that's kind of like a fanboy club. Don't know. I haven't tried their products, so I can't really argue either way. But yeah, I love Jax Wax and I love Chemical Guys. But Chemical Guys they're hard to buy from. They have so many freaking products. You'd be on the website for 3 hours trying to look at just what to get in waxes. Been there, done that. Their butter wet wax is nice. I like that. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and sweep it out, and then we'll cut to just looking down the side of the car. We'll see what it looks like in the camera. So see you guys in a little bit. So now I just got done with the maintenance wash. So I'll go ahead and take you around the car. We'll see the shine here. See if I can get it. Rambo's gonna photobomb me, I think, here in a second. So there's my finish on the side of the car. See? Look at Rambo photobombing me. Alright. And this autofocus kills me. But yeah. So just a little maintenance wash. I had opened the sunroof because I wanted to get down in the rails, stuff like that. So boom. Let's It looks like Rambo's looking in the mirror. Yeah, it's a quick, easy maintenance wash. Turned out well. And get ready to pull the car out and clean up the garage. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. I'll continue to post stuff as I do it around the house, and we'll kick it like a white boy ain't never kicked it. That's what I always say. All right, we'll see you guys soon.